Hey, hello, Scandinavian warriors. Hope you're doing good today. My name is Mr. Powell. Most kids or students call me Mr. P, so I'm good with that. Today we're going to be, speaking of P, we're going to be talking about photosynthesis. Now, what's the point, you might be asking? The point is, I like to eat, and without photosynthesis, since I can't make my own food, I have to get it from somewhere. And plants are responsible for food, regardless if you eat meat or if you're a vegan and all you eat is vegetables. If you're like Simba, then you have to eat an animal that eats a plant. But if you're just vegan, then you still have to eat plants. So regardless, we need food. That's why it matters. And the other reason is because we need to breathe. Breathing is something that I enjoy doing, and oxygen is one of the things that plants do for us that keep us alive. Okay, so photosynthesis, if you're looking at your screen, you can see that this word, pretty big word, but you can split it right down the middle. And you have photo, which means light, and the second part is synthesis, which means putting together or combining. Now, what you have, this illustration serves very well to just show us what things go in and what comes out. You need three things for a photosynthesis to take place. You need water to come in from the root, moves up to the leaf. You need carbon dioxide, comes from the atmosphere, and you need light, which comes from the sun. When you have all these things present, the leaf has the ability to create two things. Convert two things. It turns the carbon dioxide and the water into carbohydrates, or we call it glucose or sugar or starch. And then as a byproduct, it puts oxygen, the oxygen me and you breathe, back into the environment. Here's a closer look at a leaf. Now, it's pretty much the same information as the last slide. But you can see the light coming in, water coming in, carbon dioxide coming in. Sugars in the leaf being stored, oxygen is leaving. Okay, this is called the chemical process of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide, CO2, water, H2O, sugar, C6H12O6, and oxygen. Okay, and you also have light energy, which is driving that process. And we're going a little bit closer to take a closer look at that leaf. This will be considered a cross section. So water's coming up just like it was before from the leaf. Now this little line right here, this little vein, that's actually vascular tissue. That's how water is transported from the root, and it ends up here. Okay, if you look at the top and bottom layer, you have these epidermal layers, which are basically like our skin. And at the bottom, you have a stoma. There's a bunch of these. Together, they're called stomata. And what these do is they serve the purpose of letting gases in and out of the cell. Then you have these chloroplasts right here. Chloroplast is what's responsible for the work of photosynthesis. So we really have to pay attention to that. And inside of the chloroplast are these chlorophyll. These chlorophyll are what actually absorbs the light and drives that process as well to turn carbon dioxide, water into carbohydrates or sugars or glucose. Okay, so that is in a nutshell the process. So literally, photosynthesis means combining carbon dioxide and water together in the presence of light. This is light energy that's being converted into chemical energy that we can use. This process uses light, carbon dioxide, and water. Those are your reactants to make glucose and oxygen. Those would be considered your products. Then you have chloroplasts that contain pigments called chlorophyll that absorb and reflect the light. Actually, part of the reason we can see plants as green is because green is being reflected, not absorbed as much as the other colors. So we see it. The plant's not absorbing it. And the last point is glucose made during photosynthesis can be used immediately, or it can be stored in the leaf, the fruit, or the root of the plant. The root of the plant would be like a carrier